Quirky. My name is Joyce, inventor and entrepreneur, and this is my pitch video for Quirky's product-based brief, Design a Hook Product. This week I've decided to present this product using some real-time sketching so that I can share with you a bit of my design process and so that I can share with you the story of how I arrived at my proposed hook design. So let's get started. So when I first read about the Quirky hook brief, I didn't really think I had anything to offer the plethora of hooks already on the market today. And then I started looking at one of the most common and standard hook designs that everyone knows. And when I was looking at it, I realized that, it's pretty good. When you look at this hook design, the great thing about this design is that you know what it is, you know what it does, you know what it's for. Perhaps the only drawback with this hook design is that there's no mystery, there's no romance. It invokes no sense of wonder when a user is looking at it. So that got me to thinking, when a hook is in use, it needs this utility function. It's got the hook, you can hang the coat, it works. But when a hook is not in use, what could the hook look like then? Would it be possible to design a hook that would be so beautiful that the first time viewer looking at it wouldn't quite know what it was, and maybe if we were really lucky, someone who just had guests over, then when the guests were leaving, they were kind of happy to see them go because it meant that their coats would no longer be hanging on their beautiful hooks that they enjoyed looking at. So, I didn't quite know if it was possible to achieve such a level of design, but I thought, that would be worth pursuing. And so a design, or rather a shape, that just kept coming to my mind was this shape here. It's a half circle, and then a full circle in the bottom. And isn't that gorgeous, right? I mean, you've got a hook, and then you've got this. And what is this? I'm not quite sure, but I got to thinking about it, and I thought, maybe inside of here we could have a hook. And so, again, I took that base shape, coming around with the half circle, putting in the full circle, and then, I was imagining that if this were whether it's molded out of plastic or aluminum, there's probably going to be an 1/8" thickness to the back there. And then if there was a hook inside of here, it would probably be at the top that we'd have a hook that could flip out. And if we're going to be set in there, it would probably be about an 1/8 inch set back in there. And then about a 1/2 inch thick as well. And then here we probably have to mold in some screw holes, and then we could mount it to the wall accordingly. So inside of this shape is this hook, and it would pivot out. That was kind of my starting point. So again, if we come over, once again, take the base outline here. There's our half circle. There's our full circle. And then, again, looking at the structure inside. There's our screws. There's our other screw. And if we do a rotate of about 50 degrees, that would end up looking like, right about here, and right about there, with the circle falling right there. So, okay, there it is. It swings out, and we're starting to arrive at a product, something to call a cool hook. So then again, I took this base design, side view of it started as this shape and then it flipped out. But as I got to this part in the design, I realized that that's only going to be about 1/8 of an inch of space right there. You couldn't really successfully hang much of anything on there except maybe a bandit. So then I thought about, what if I were to cut off 1/4 inch right off the front? Would that free up enough space? And it'd free up about 3/8 of space, but still not a lot to get in there. So then I thought, what if I were to just cut off the top 2/3, really open up the space for the hook. And it's possible that in a separate design that could be a neat departure point, but looking at the original, awe and wonder of this shape here, I didn't feel that I'd be doing the design justice if I just cut off the 2/3. So that led me to then consider, what if we worked a whole new circle into this design right there? So what could we do if this circle took a bite out of this initial shape? And so coming back over, again, start with that base shape. So we got hard edge on the outside, and now this time as it comes over, we're going to have that circle intersect, and that's going to change our hard profile to this shape. And then this interior of the arc on the inside, that will now be exposed, but since it's set 1/8 of an inch back, there it is there. And then once again, there's your hard circle on the outside. So this is starting to look pretty interesting, but still inside what we've got going on is the 1/8 inch wall, screw holes, the other screw holes, and then you got the circle up in there. This path continues, that path continues. This one's coming back here. This one's coming under. And then, since we defined that this swing out shape of about 50 degrees we're going to need to create a positive stop at what point that hook swings out. So the next thing to design in here is be about there. That'll be attached to the inside pivot, and then we'll need to build this into the mold so then when it swings out it hits up against there and it creates a stop. So now let's take a look at what this would look like in its open form. So again, outside line, coming from the top down. There's our new curve, profile back, and now in its swung out open position, it'll be right about there. Connect that with the outside circular hook, and then again, there's our hard circle, and what's happening on the inside is there's that 1/8 inch wall, there's the screw and screw, there's the screw and screw, screw, and now what we see is that this has rotated and made a complete positive stop connection. Now that this is opened up, it's locking up on the back. So you can see that it was here, rotates out. Now this creates the structure so that when something is attached to the hook, it can't rotate any further. So now the only thing left to do was kind of put some final fillets and curves on the design, and that final design of the shape of the curve or the hook on the wall being closed, that comes out to a little bit of a curve here, and a curve up to there, and this nice intersection of the interior curve following back to the opening curve up to the top and rounding down to the back. And then of course the initial circle that started it all, which has become our primary structural pivot. There that is. And then taking a look at this open, again, straight line in the back. Probably an 1/8 inch radius curve there. Coming around the front. New circle opening there. Completing the profile to the back. And swung out. Be right about there. Right about there. There's our circular finish on the top. And the original hard circle in the side profile. So there it's closed, there it's open, and just to give you a quick idea of if these are the side views of closed and open, then the front view of it on the wall being closed probably be that would be 2.5 inches tall, 1 inch wide, and that'd be about an 1/8 inch wall thickness coming down here. And then the pivot here, that would come out of those two holes so that it could successfully rock. And then going back to this structural catch happening here, that would be right there in its closed position, and that circular portion would come to there and to there, and then again right up to the top. There would be the arcing arm, and then there'd be about a 1/2 inch diameter ball at the top. So 1/4 inch wide, 1/2 inch diameter ball at the top. And then if that is the closed, so here it's closed side view, here it's closed front view. Now we've got the open side view, and the open look of the front view would be again 1/8 inch sidewalls, creating some solid structure, and then that rotating rod coming all the way through. There's one, there's two. Now that it's rotated all the way back, that height would move to there. And now that it's open, once again, let's see, there it is open. That would make the front view to be perceived as shorter. And there you go. So, side view closed, side view open, front view closed, front view open. And just as a final look here, as we're kind of filling out this sheet of paper, here you can see it where we have the opportunity to do some two-tone colors. And if we were going for high-end, I could see where it would be fun to do this in a black anodized finished with a red aluminum anodized swing-out arm. I think that could have a great look. But at the same time, if we wanted to go for a more mid-range price point, then we could go ahead and mold it out of plastic, and here are the colors that you traditionally see. This is taken off the Corky plug hub. You got your dark gray with your swing out teal. So again, it's just this opportunity where when the hook is closed, I think this is a gorgeous piece of design that does inspire that bit of mystery, romance, and wonder. But then when it comes open, it's got just as much function as any other hook, and that's all I'll say for now, except to say that this design exploration could keep going, but we've got 1 week, so I'm stopping it here. Please comment below and let me know how you think we can improve this design. Thank you.